Your remarks on Social Security. Now, Chris Christie of New Jersey has said that we got a means test, we got to raise the retirement age. Governor Huckabee went just the other way in his prepared remarks, saying that that would be a mistake and a death knell for any politician who tries it, that the system, when it comes to Social Security, isn't broke, so there's no need to do that. Where do you stand?
Look, it's not as broke. It's less broke, I guess, than Medicaid and Medicare, which will explode into our lives and create huge structural deficits. Social Security, I think we need to adjust it because life expectancy has gone up. And
when you say adjust to government,
adjusted by retirement age going up.
In the foreseeable future?
No, that's the point. The point about this that I think everybody has to understand is if we're going to fix it for the next 50 years, we need to start working on it now and progressively raise the retirement age. But people that are near retirement or already in retirement, I don't believe there should be
any... 10 years away from that?
Yeah, something like that. Look, I don't have a specific plan yet because I'm not a candidate, but...
But you sure seem like a candidate. Now, we interviewed all the people who invited today.
Look, I'm a policy...
Look around here. Look around here.
Well,
I don't know if we can take a look at this.
Home field advantage, brother.
It might be the home field advantage. But they think you're running. I think
most of these people are in the press. I don't know.
Oh, really? How many are in the press? All right, one guy.
They won't raise it.
All right. They expect, with all the money you've been getting and the campaign has been getting and the support you've been getting, that you're the guy to beat. Are you?
Well, if I'm a candidate, I want to be the guy to beat. I'm not a candidate yet. It'll be a competitive field. There are a lot of really good people running. I think my record of accomplishment as governor of Florida is one that I can take to Republican voters, and if I'm successful there, to a larger audience.
But does it, think about it, it's been a while since right? 20% of Floridians.
It's been a while since a governor has cut taxes every year, totaling $19 billion. It's been a while for a governor to have shrunk the workforce by 13,000. It's been a while for many states to go to AAA bond-rated status. It's been a while for the kind of prosperity that we had, and restoring that based on practical experience. Your
likely opponent, Chris Christie, his bond rating has been cut 9 times.
Well, that's different than ours.
Yeah.
Ours has gone up to AAA, while the federal government's gone down to AA.
So I just that wasn't a reference to Chris Christie, the bond rating thing.
No, it's a reference to Florida.
Okay.
I'm a positive guy, Neil. I'm all in on that.
Do you ever get a sense, Governor, that the way things are going right now, Florida, for example, it's you and Marco Rubio. The loser is done. How do you think?
Jeez, you are so process-driven. The guy that's got such a big brain and so focused on economic policy.
I know. Do you buy that?
That you have a big head?
Well, no, I don't. Get
I reject that.
That's fine. It's been a long day.
That.
I got him at 3 a.m. Let's
no, look.
But to that point,
I don't buy
your state to lose.
I don't buy any of the horse race stuff. This is a long process, and if I become a candidate, I'll win if I show my heart, if I advocate ideas that will give people a sense that they can rise up, and if I share that I have the leadership skills to make it so.
So it's not a do or die view. This is a winner-take-all state.
Yeah.
By that time, we would have apportioned close to half the delegates. Most of them apportioned.
I'm a competitive guy. I'm a competitive guy. If I become a candidate, my intention is to campaign everywhere and to win.
Would you use your brother?
Absolutely. I'll use my brother, my sister, every relative, every person I can. I think a campaign that's winning is inclusive for sure, and I love my brother. That's a shock for people.
No, that is a shock for people, because it depends on the day with mine. Do you ever get a sense right now that this battle in Washington, as they're going back and forth with votes in the Capitol on funding for the NSA, how far government agencies can go, is dividing Republicans? There's the Rand Paul wing and pretty much everybody else.
I'll tell you what, it is. That's not the big. That's the big divide. Is how the Democrats have moved away from a traditional Scoop Jackson view, Sam Nunn view of national security. While Rand Paul and a few others have expressed concerns about civil liberties, and I respect that, although I don't see any shred of evidence that anybody's civil liberties are being violated. The great preponderance of people that want to overturn the Patriot Act are on the left. And we need to give people some room in the Democratic Party to be strong supporters of defending the homeland again. I think we need to restore a bipartisan consensus on
when
this.
He says
but
that
the great majority of Republicans are supportive of
on this, and you're right, the candidates are by and large opposed whatever Rand Paul is doing, but to this point, Rand Paul is saying, focus on getting the bad guys, don't do these mega, it's a docketed dumps. And that's something that the Senate's voting on as we speak.
If we were to go inside your email,
right,
or go inside your cell phone and listen to your cause, or listen or see your emails like the Russians do, the Chinese do, by the way. If we were to do that, I would think that would be a violation of civil liberties. But if you have a metadata program where you're tracking calls of terrorists that you might have identified overseas calling into our country, and then you have to go to a court, a FISA court, to be able to get a wiretap, that is how we protect civil liberties. And I think part of the problem today is that everybody ends up getting their same set of facts.
We were bypassing that.
No. No.
So do you think, here's
and if there's any violation, I've not heard of any, if there is, then prosecute.
Do you feel comfortable then, Governor, with let's say, Verizon collecting 120 million Americans' phone records?
I'd rather have NSA do it, to be honest with you. But if it's to be the telephone companies, at least create a standard by which they keep the records for a certain period of time and in a certain fashion.
But don't you always get the feeling that, what are they hanging on to them for?
Hey, well, make it 18 months or so, make it some period of time, and make sure that you get the right information. Right now, the law says, the new law, that if it passes the House, just simply says that they have to keep business records. They may not even have to keep the records that would help us be safe. So it's possible that this could end up being a disaster. It's still work in progress. I hope the Senate has amendments that actually create a safer.
And those votes, to your points, are ensuing as we speak. I do want to touch a little bit on what the other side is saying. Martin O'Malley is saying that Hillary Clinton, I guess, isn't left or liberal or anti-business enough.
Wow.
He says it still shocks him after all this time that a banker hasn't gone to jail, a Wall Streeter hasn't gone to jail post the meltdown. Why aren't these guys in the hook out? Do you think, if you were to become president, would you be aggressive, should you be aggressive in going after the financial types who many believe triggered the financial crisis? And
if they committed crimes, if people committed crimes, fine. We're in year 6 of the recovery, and if they haven't been able to identify people that committed crimes, there may be a reason for it. I don't know.
So you wouldn't be on a witch hunt at this stage?
I think we need to get high sustained economic growth back to the middle class, where people have a chance to rise up again, where disposable income grows, where take-home pay grows again. That means we're going to have to grow at 4%, not 2%. That's what our focus ought to be, is to lift people's spirits with tangible changes in our economic policies.
Do you think your dad was famous for saying Ronald Reagan voodoo economics to try to cut taxes and expect everything? It was proven wrong in that case. That did ignite economic growth.
So there's another example of Jeb having a disagreement with a family member I love a lot. He was
so you would be open to aggressive tax cuts, even if in the outset it might sink the deficit a little bit, with the hope that, like Reagan, it spurred things.
Look, we have $1.2 trillion of so-called tax expenditures. So instead of just spending money, which Congress does pretty well, with the caps in place and all the other things that have been in existence off and on for the last 25 years, the new way of doing it is to create a tax deduction or a tax credit, and we have thousands of these critters. If you shifted that down and let people decide how they want to invest, the simplicity of our code would unleash hundreds of billions of dollars of investment. And you don't have to have a supply side beginning to get a supply side result. You can grow the economy and you'll generate revenue for government that pales by comparison to the most exotic forms of taxes that the left can offer up. If you were growing at 4%, the revenue for the government at the federal level, completely.
The president, real quickly, sir, had said today, take a look at what's happened under my stewardship. Jobs are booming, the economy's better. Look what I inherited, look where things stand. I think he was talking about your brother, and saying, we are now the most respected country on earth.
Yeah, I saw that interview. It's breathtaking. It's like our president is living in an alternative universe. Median income is down in the 6th year of recovery. Disposable income for families is down. Workforce participation rate is lower than it was 30 years ago.
Okay.
People have just given up, and he's saying that things are better. You know, look,
I take it you do not agree.
Mark me down as no.
Okay. Governor Jeb Bush, thank you. very much. It's fair to say you got a slightly bigger crowd than some of the others, but very good seeing you, Governor.
Welcome to Orlando.
Yeah, let's just cool it down a little bit, take away the humidity, and it could be perfect.
It's paradise, brother. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
I guess. We'll have a lot more after this, including Rick Perry, many more. The